we're having conversations about different things that are happening within the country. Now we're going to be looking next at the Ghanaian economy, and Dr. Kwakye is calling for dollarization in order to address the cedi depreciation. Let's find out exactly what he's trying to say. Well, the story is on citynewsroom.com. I'll read it for you. Dollarize Ghana's economy to curb cedi depreciation, Dr. Kwakye suggests. Now, Dr. John Kwakye, Director of Research at the Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, has suggested adopting the dollar as Ghana's currency to stabilize the economy. Now, stabilizing the economy is not rocket science. If we feel we cannot maintain the cedi, let's abandon it and adopt the dollar. Let's dollarize the economy, he said. Now, Dr. Kwakye, who suggested this on Saturday during a discussion on an Accra-based television station, however, said that the dollarization of the economy should be a temporary measure until it rebounds, after which Ghana can create its currency. Dollarization is when a country begins to recognize the US dollar as a medium of exchange or legal tender alongside or in place of its domestic currency. Dollarization normally occurs when the local currency has become unstable and begun to lose its usefulness as a medium of exchange for market transactions. For dollarizing countries, advantages include lower administrative costs, a firm basis for a sounder financial sector, and lower interest rates. Disadvantages include the loss of monetary autonomy, a vital national symbol, and a greater vulnerability to foreign influence. Dr. Kwakye also proposed that the central bank be converted into a currency board as an option, another option for economic stabilization. In a currency board system, the local currency is anchored to a foreign currency, that's a reserve currency, and the exchange rate is strictly fixed. A currency board does not influence monetary policy but relies on supply and demand, issuing notes and coins and providing fixed rate conversions to the anchor currency. Dr. Kwakye bemoaned the government's failure to implement the many alternatives available to it, preferring to collateralize the country's assets for loans. Unfortunately, we are being driven by the IMF program, so there's very little we can do. We are bound by their policy, and breaching it will attract sanctions. If we were following and implementing the right policies, we would not have even been here in the first place, he said. He described the recent exit of some foreign companies from the country as shocking, saying that it would have severe consequences for the already struggling economy. And the story goes on there, making reference to Glovo and Société Générale, etc., leaving the country. You can go on and read the rest of the story. All right, now let me come to Jeffrey.
Yes, I respectfully, that's my very senior colleague. I respectfully, let me state that I hold a different view from my senior and what he has proposed. My joy is that during his submission, he actually still proved his worth when he stated clearly the downsides of his own proposal. Yeah. That when we do that, that situation will cause us to lose our currency autonomy, you know. And then he also mentioned foreign influence. So why would you want to go there?
Because
you see, we had our independence struggle, so we can manage our things our way.
And we are mismanaging.
Mismanaging. Your father being careless in the house doesn't mean you should leave your house and sell the house. Okay, it means your mother, the children, uncle and aunties must come together and prove to your daddy he's wrong and push him to do the right thing. Okay, it wouldn't mean mommy walking away. That means that, you see, mommy walking away because daddy misbehaved wouldn't have allowed some of us to be sitting here. And I'm saying this seriously, with all due respect and salute to my father in his grave. I'm saying my mommy decided to stay That's why you and I, every Mother's Day, we go back into time. She decided to stay and take care of a stroke bedridden father, 4 big sisters, myself, that troublesome young man sitting here. In 1987 alone, a father had stroke, a sister got drowned in the sea, and myself, I paralyzed from a fall from my mango tree. But she stayed. She could have left. I'm saying, when we go through troubles, you weather the storm. That's what, and then he came back again, wonderfully, as I know him, Dr. Kwakye. He spilled the beans on the table for us to look at what we want. And I'm saying, I'll take the other ones. The dangers that he actually pointed to, and the good sides he spoke about. That look, if he's saying that, let me add one of the things that he also should have noted. Our economic independence. When we got independence, Kwame Nkrumah many years ago said the imperialists will come back again in a different form. That's where we are.
Yeah, but
we don't need to don't reinvent anything. Go and pick the wise things that Kwame Nkrumah said. Nothing has changed. Look, he was a god of knowledge.
Yeah, but you see, he said the dollarization of the economy should be a temporary measure till it rebounds.
Let's not temporarily do anything.
No, but you're fixing it.
Let me tell you what. The temporary IMF, if we had learned any lesson after 17 times, that's what Dr. Kwakye himself said. That temporary IMF, if we had learned any smartness from it, what does the IMF thing state? It states, and let me go on and tell you something. Note, that dollarization won't automatically mean we are using US dollar, and then we'll have a Ghana dollar. Take the case of Liberia and Canada. They are using dollar. Are they equal to the US dollar?
Australia too.
Australia dollar. Is it even Australia in their good flow with a better economic system? Is their dollar equal to the US dollar? Is the Canadian dollar equal to the US dollar? Then you come and talk of Liberia and how where they are, and then you want to talk about Ghana. Please, let us save our hearts. Let's go forward. Look now further. Go quickly. Just yesterday, redenomination of a cedi. Do you remember?
July 2007.
One cedi to what?
0.97 cedis to the dollar.
Are you a prophet?
Pesos.
Oh, give him the chance.
Yes, 0.97
give
pesos.
the prophet the chance.
Yeah. No, it's 0.97 cedis.
You see, so give a quick call to my senior brother, Dr. Kwakye, and tell him we even went to a point where our currency was stronger. So the problem is not about the currency and getting the advantage over any dollar matter. It is your reckless lifestyle, corruption, high unguided expenditure, waste. Okay? Those are the problems. If you decide not to do anything about these things I've mentioned, you will go back every day, every moment to go and fight these same things. The IMF, what did they bring to you? They told you, show to them the capacity to generate internal revenue. Okay? And what did we do? E-levy. Yeah. Was it about e-levy? Tell me. I tell you, hell no. It was about property rates. Let me tell you one sad moment about property rates. In my neighborhood, you were taking 275. People were not paying. Then you go and do, your own planning. Then you bring 1,100. I was speaking with the revenue officer. I said, you lost it. All you should have done was to reduce this thing to about 150, get people to start paying, put everybody on the scale. Now, properly with the data, determine the 3 classes, the high, middle, and the low class. Now, what you do after about a year or 2 is realistically now charge the high class, let's say about 200. Then put the middle income, who are a lot of them, at the normal 150 that you were charging. Then the people who were below, take them to about 100. That's progressive taxation. This is not magic. People are in the construction industry. They are roofing buildings. They are taking 40,000 per building. They have 3 or 4 buildings running concurrently at the same time. They are making huge monies than the rest of you in the former street. They are not paying any taxes. We've told you about the United Dawn economy. Boss, I'm not a magician. It's what I've seen that I'm telling you about. You've not finished collecting all these. But when the IMF got here, you went quickly to do e-levy to just impress them. Knee jerk. Let them just sit down well and plan well. We'll get there. Okay. And then one of the issues that I saw was the exiting of the company. Why are they crying? Economic nationalism means that you should do business by your own country. Yes, there will be other people coming from outside to come and do business with you. But ensure that most of the things that are happening, especially over the weekend, we're at the Pedrassi Valley. Let me congratulate the Natural Resource Government Institute and then the Minerals Commission. we all had a dialogue about the review of our mining, policy. My brother, we are still sitting on the fence, allowing people to come and mine so that government will tax them. What is our participation in there? We need to raise finances to just be interested. What about Ghana government having about 15% or 50% shares in whatever we are doing, interest in what we are doing? Those are the issues we should be talking about.
Okay.
It's not about foreign direct investment. So one single you think when they say 3 billion or 9 billion, that means the company carries 9 billion, invests here, and we see them holding cash of 9 billion. It never happens. What we have to see is Ghana should be interested, and Ghana should manage our own things. The black man, I believe, is still capable of managing his own affairs, because you and I disagree with.
But we have proven over time that we can't.
We have not.
We've proven that we can't.
A few people decided to build a cathedral. Yeah. Were you in favor of it?
No.
To go and dig that hole?
No.
So if you were in power, would we have used that money to dig the pit?
I'm in favor of the idea, but the operationalization is terrible.
I am even ready to go and even dig the pit if the location was at Oyarifa. There's nothing in my mind, in my head, in my degree head, for me to go that we have had buildings that were built less than 6 years, okay, where judges were living. Do you know even the breaking of those buildings comes at a cost?
Yeah.
Where are the chandeliers? Where are the fixtures? The flip lights and everything? The kitchen gadgets, where are they? Have you seen it? Has anybody showed that one to you? You think we are children in this country? My brother, let me tell you what, with all respect, these things that is going, I've told you every day on this platform, crime has no expiry date. Crime, it has no expiry date. And the long arm of the law will catch up with people. Because that pit over there, when I see it, the way I get angry, you have no idea.
Yeah, all right. Mensa.
Kwaku, what is Dr. John Kwakye talking about?
He's talking about saving their country.
What is he talking about?
Saving our economy.
So, in his expert opinion, anytime our economy gets into a crisis, as a temporary measure, we should switch from our currency to the dollar.
No, he's saying for now, because clearly we are, but incapable of fixing the situation.
Of course, but economic downturns happen. Every economy goes on a spiral.
Yeah.
You know, at one point you are down, one point you are low. And economic challenges are bound to happen, sometimes based on your own internal recklessness or based on external shocks or a factor of both.
Okay.
So what he's saying is that at any time we are faced with an economic crisis, as a temporary measure, we should ditch our currency and go for a foreign currency. Is that his expect solution for our problems?
I don't think he's saying anything.
While there are corruption,
he's saying that for now.
While there are corruption, while there's reckless mismanagement, overrunning budget deficit, reckless procurement practices and what have you. Why are we here today? Why are people like Dr. John Kwakye failing to talk about the reasons why we are here today? Why are they failing to call a spade a spade? Ghana, we are here where we are today because of one person, because of Ken Ofori-Atta. We are here because of the recklessness of Ken Ofori-Atta.
Did Ken
Ofori-Atta
not inherit the reins of the economy?
Kwaku, we are here because of the recklessness of Ken Ofori-Atta. Ken Ofori-Atta is the single most destructive element that has ever happened to the Ghanaian economy. And in fact, apart from his reckless spending, his reckless borrowing spree and overrunning our country into a debt hole, apart from overrunning budget deficits and cooking economic figures and misreporting our deficit figures to the international community, Ken Ofori-Atta did something. And I always ask myself, why did the government, after all the recklessness of Ken Ofori-Atta, still decided that if they were going under a debt restructuring, Ken Ofori-Atta is the person they were going to allow to oversee that debt restructuring?
Because the government held faith with him.
No, because I say Ken Ofori-Atta's head is empty and zero.
You can't say that.
Oh, I can say that.
No,
I can say that.
You cannot say that.
I can say that, and I'm entitled to that opinion.
No, you cannot say that.
Let me tell you.
What do you mean by his head is empty?
When I saw that Ken Ofori-Atta knows nothing about economics, he knows nothing about management of the economy. When he decided to restructure our domestic debt, and when I saw that, Kwaku, I was like, wow. all these Yale degrees we've been hearing. Kwaku, mention one country in the world that has restructured its domestic debt. You don't restructure your domestic debt. You know why? Because your domestic debts are held in your local currency, your domestic currency. What was the sense in government taking people's money from the bank when the government could have just printed money to offset the domestic debt? Because it is the foreign debt that you restructure because you don't have the forests to pay your foreign debt. And any economist worth his salt know exactly what I'm talking about. That you don't restructure domestic debt. You don't take people's pensions. You don't take people's savings in an economy.
It's an option.
It is not an option.
You use the option.
Kwaku, it is not an option.
So it's been done.
Kwaku, but that's why where we are. That's why we are here. That's why, as we speak, they can't even find money to buy gas, to buy a thermal plant, and we are sleeping in Dumso. That's why we are. That's why today they are owing the IPPs to the tune of over $1 billion.
But they were owing that already before they started doing.
Who created that debt, Kwaku? That's why I'm saying that apart from the recklessness, in trying to resolve the problem, they end up creating even further destruction and further mess by restructuring our domestic debt. Kwaku, your domestic creditors, you are owing them in cedi. How do you take your own domestic creditors' money that I go and put my money in a bank? The working class save, put the money in a bank, so that the banks can get money, who are financial intermediaries, can get money to finance SMEs and small businesses to grow, to create employment. You wake up one day and you say that because you are in a debt distress and you're trying to restructure our public debt, you restructure our domestic debt too. You take the revenues of domestic creditors. Kwaku, who does that?
You're not taking their monies. You're extending the period for
how
payments.
do you restructure? Why do you restructure your domestic?
You're extending the period for
why
payments.
do you restructure your domestic debt
To allow you
when you
time.
could just print money?
Why print money if that's going to impact on their currency?
In 2020, why did they print money? Before 2020 elections, when they went to print the 200 and 100 cedis note, for what purpose? Well, it was for what purpose? What was those money that was printed? What was that money used for? Okay, so as a government, you see, the act of printing money, which is called money supply, it is an economic intervention that must be used wisely. You don't print money and share it for your cronies and chop. These are some of the reasons why governments print money.
No, but
you can't defend this.
I'm not defending it.
Everybody knows that
I am asking questions. You are saying on one hand, you should go and print money, but you are complaining at the same time that the printing of money is what is going to mess you up. But you should have rather gone to print money.
That's why I'm saying that. In 2019 and 2020, they printed money.
Yeah. And they chose not to go and do it again.
But I'm saying that so doing the right thing at the wrong time has the wrong repercussions. Do the right thing at the right time. So instead of printing money in 2019 and 2020 and sharing it to your cronies for electioneering purposes, they should have waited for this time. This is the time that you need to print money to encourage money supply in the economy, so that you don't have to take away the savings of you, Kwaku.
But you know
so
that
you don't take away my grandmother's pension.
Yeah, but you know that every time you print money, it devalues the currency, right?
Kwaku, no. No. The principle of money supply is not blanket that anytime you print money, it increases inflation. It depends on what you use the printed money for. But inflation is what devalues your currency. But inflation is what devalues your currency. But the point I'm making is that it's not a blanket statement. It is what you use the money supply for. The intervening areas and the trickling down mechanism to the productive areas of the economy is what is going to help you. That is going to determine whether your money supply in the economy is going to earn good results or bad results.
Okay, please wrap it up.
So when I say Kenufrata bon, and all this government, from the governor of the central bank to the president to the finance, bon.
Okay, see, but he's no longer in charge of things. So then,
but he is a cause. So we shouldn't say.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that for some months now he's not been in charge, and we're still having a slide in the devaluing of the currency?
Because we're born and
no, what has that got to do with anything?
We're born.
It's almost like you don't have any other argument except going down that road.
If you stop interjecting me, I'll make my point. What I'm saying is that we are here not because our currency is not held in dollars. We are here because of the recklessness of Ken Ofori-Atta, the governor of the central bank.
Dr. Kwakye seems to not agree with you.
That is his opinion, and that's my opinion. So I'm also, just like he has expressed his opinion, let me also express mine. That what is happening, the root cause of what is happening is not dollarization. The root cause of our economic crisis is not dollarization.
Okay.
The root cause, let me finish. The root cause of our problem is recklessness, borrowing spree, and people who just don't understand simple economic management.
Nope.
Who implemented fast economic restructuring that have thrown our economy into a cyclical spiral, now going back into a debt hole.
Okay, thank you.
And the solution to that is not dollarization.
Fair enough. Thank you. Let's go to the last topic, and we're looking at the illegal mining. Asante Hene is urging the government to intensify efforts at dealing with the canker. Let me quickly read that story for you, give you some context, and we will get right into it. Now, we must reclaim our environment, as Asante Hene is saying, from galamsey activities. He says here, Asante Hene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II says Ghana's primary focus should be restoring the environment which has been severely impacted by illegal mining, commonly known as galamsey. Now, speaking on his 25th anniversary as the 16th occupant of the Golden Stool, the Asante Hene stressed the importance of overcoming the issue of galamsey by all possible means. Now, he underscored that the present generation should not be the one to ruin the legacy left by their ancestors. Now, our top priority must be the reclamation of our environment from the ravages of galamsey. We cannot be the generation that destroys the most precious, most gracious heritage bequeathed us by our forefathers to satisfy the greed of a few miscreants. For whatever it takes, we must defeat this scourge, he said. All right, let me just come back to you, Mensa, on this one. A quick 2-minute bite.
What else? First of all, let me congratulate Otumfuo on his 25th anniversary ascension to the throne. I've been monitoring the events that is being used to climax this occasion, and I must say that I mean, it's very impressive. I also want to congratulate him on the launch of the, you saw the auditorium that he launched, a very beautiful one at that. You know, the return of some of Ashanti artifacts,
the museums,
and I mean, he's redefining, you know, and royalty and the influence of chiefdom in our country, and I think it's important that we celebrate that. Otumfuo didn't miss this opportunity. I've listened to him throughout this occasion, and once again, kudos to him for not missing this opportunity in front of government officials, the President Kufuor, Dr. Bawumia, Chairman Wontumi and his kingpins, and all those people involved in the galamsey business in the country. He did not miss the opportunity. He made sure that the right people who deserve to hear that message was there to hear him. And he told them right in their faces that you and your proxies that are involved in this galamsey, stop it. It is destroying our water bodies. It is destroying our environment. It is creating sickness for our people. It is destroying our vegetation. It is creating a lot of challenges for us. What more should Otumfuo say? We've been into this fight and struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. And it seems that the fight against galamsey is nowhere. Because even when people are caught in the act, the president will come and defend them. When government officials are exposed to be directly involved in this galamsey menace, we hear all manner of excuses instead of prosecution. When people who were supposed to be at the heart of the fight against corruption, at the heart of the fight against galamsey, through the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, who were caught on tapes taking bribe, were further rewarded. We saw them parading as parliamentary candidates and other people in the ruling party.
Yeah.
So the tacit endorsement of the ruling party of the acts of Galamsey was what the Otumfuo was trying to call out. All the Otumfuo was telling President Kufuor and his kingpins and Chairman Wontumi and all those Galamsey kingpins in Ashanti region and elsewhere was that stop the destruction of our forests, stop the chaos you are creating, the diseases. Now we are seeing all manner of sicknesses in our hospitals that we've never seen before due to this chemical pollution of our water bodies. Stop it. And Nana, thank you for once again telling them in their faces that they need to stop this Galamsey.
Thank you. Jeffrey, quickly.
Let me quickly take this opportunity to congratulate Otumfuo on his 25 years of ascension to the throne. May God grant him long life and good health and many more successes. And that boldness to speak to authority, to speak to the perpetrators of this heinous crime against it. This gross unguided mining ongoing destroys our environment, affects livelihoods, farmers lose their farms. Some of it, the farmers don't even agree to sell their property. They encourage
them out of it.
Yeah, you know, and threatens the very survival by contaminating our water bodies, the rivers and the lakes, and deprives the unborn generations. The mess, the reckless attitude of these people is not only affecting some of us here. The unborn generations will be affected, and they actually have disappointed our ancestors. Look, in the 19th century, okay, in the 18th century, 19th century, mining was ongoing, and they were learned. People were elected. They could write. They had sense. They saw where the gold was, but some of them preserved these things. But then we decided to come and destroy them. Some of these forests don't have only, you know, economic, but then we're looking at traditional, you know, where some of the gods are. But they are destroying all these waters and keeping us here. The issues are the motivated illegal miners. The president came up defending some companies, even when we're doing the illegal mining, we're fighting the campaign against illegal mining. So these are lessons. We spent cash to buy drones. Have you seen any pictures from the drones? No, I'm asking you, the drones that
I've seen a few rivers which were taken from the air.
You saw the drones giving us pictures of people who were mining videos. You saw it.
I've seen aerial images.
Do you know what CTFM will do for me? Do you know what CTFM does for me?
What?
Sometimes when they capture the stories, they show me live of what we were seated here watching the rains destroying things, right?
Yeah.
Live coverage. Yeah. When I bought the drones, I was expecting that coverage.
Okay, all right.
I didn't get that one. The contaminated water bodies. As we sit here right now, I mean, the experts are saying that what treatment the water company is giving does not hunt for the heavy metals in the water. So as we sit down now, this untreated water is causing the NCDs, non-communicable diseases that Mensa mentioned.
Yes.
In the face of this, we didn't even get dialysis machines to treat people, and 30 people died. So when even this mess, the money that come out of it, do not stay here, stay right in this country.
Okay.
The excavators we are arrested, they vanished. In the middle of Accra, excavators vanished. Right now as we sit here, the only issue is poor regulation and the cartel, the fronting. At the end of the day, even if the money was here, you can repair some of the damages. So Otumfuo, Nana, we know say piao. They work with the money piao. The truth is that we know those who are involved in this thing. Just the fact is that political parties and political actors are involved. No, politicians are involved in what is going on.
All right,
so the will that you are talking about, because the politicians are neck deep in this practice, they don't have the will to fight it.
All right,
and they'll be coming here to blame themselves. But the truth is that they all have hands in it.
All right,
but if for nothing at all, Citi, DTV, all the big TV stations have shown us evidence of the water they are destroying.
Thank you very much, Kapiti.
May God protect all of us.
All right, we've just ended the news review segment, and the conversations have been riveting. I was joined this morning by Mensa Thompson. He is the Executive Director for Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability, and also Jeffrey Kapiti Okansi, who is Executive Director for Revenue Mobilization Africa. We'll take a quick break. When we're back, there's more on Breakfast Daily.